victims of the April 14th incident, participants of the Kalama Revolution, fellow Gambians, I salute you all. In the history of nations, there comes a time when one or two seminal events can cause cataclysmic convulsions and produce profound changes in the political landscape of a country. I recall the 1960 Sharpeville massacre in the Transvaal region of South Africa, when a total of 69 people, including women and children, were mercilessly gunned down by the security forces of the apartheid regime. Likewise, in the same country, the iconic Steve Biko was murdered by the racist police. I also want to recall the 17 December 2010 self-immolation of Mohamed Bouzazi in the Tunisian town of Sidi Bouzaidi, who set himself on fire in protest at the confiscation of his wares and excessive humiliation and harassment that he was subjected to by the municipal authorities. He died a few weeks later. These three events set in motion a series of nationwide upheavals that led to the end of the apartheid in South Africa and the demise of the totalitarian regimes of former Tunisian President Seni Abidine Ali in 2011 and ushered in the so-called Arab Spring Revolution that culminated in violent overthrow of dictators such as Muammar Gaddafi of Libya. Today, we are here gathered to mark the first anniversary of a comparable event in the Gambia that became the genesis of the end of the brutal, callous, dark, and evil regime of one of Africa's most obnoxious dictators, Yahya Jammeh. On this very day, last year, on this very spot, a group of United Democratic supporters, led by the party's national mobilizer, Ibrahim SOLO Sandeng, held peaceful demonstration to demand for electoral reform as part of a much-needed democratization protest in our body politic. These valiant sons and daughters of our motherland were within their democratic rights and constitutional rights to protest at the naked injustices then prevailing in the political sphere, which were designed and perpetrated for no other purpose than to sustain a virulent dictatorial regime. The reaction of the security forces to the peaceful protest to demand inalienable rights was typical of the governance culture inherent in the Jammeh dictatorship. Instead of engaging in dialogue and consultation with the political stakeholders in the country, Yahya Jammeh unleashed the fearful forces of coercion to break the peaceful protest, to arrest our party militants, and then carried out the most inhuman treatment unimaginable, leading to the death of SOLO Sandeng on the very day he was arrested and detained. Many other detainees suffered life-changing injuries at the hands of the cowardly torturers. As we commemorate this infamous day, not so whether it's infamous or rather this very significant day and event, I would like to pay my respect and that of the National Executive and the entire supporters of the UDP to Ibrahim SOLO Sandeng and his group of patriotic Gambians who took up the challenge to effect meaningful and long-lasting change in the political landscape of the Gambia. As you all know, The UDP leadership reacted swiftly and unequivocally once news emerged of the death of SOLO Sandeng in custody. I led a march of the senior members of the party executive and other militants to demand for the release of SOLO, dead or alive. And again, the forces of repression were at their notorious best. And we were arrested, incarcerated, and subjected to all forms of degrading treatment before being charged before a kangaroo-type court and eventually sentenced to various terms of imprisonment. From the day of my arrest, alongside members of the National Executive, the politics of our country changed forever for the better. The outpourings of support from party militants in and out of the country, not to mention the varying degrees of support from other political parties, civil society organizations, and Gambians in the diaspora, galvanized a new momentum that led to the fall of a 22-year dictatorship within a space of 8 months. I would therefore like to take this opportunity to thank all those in their various ways who contributed to the end of the deadly Second Republic and the birth of a new political dispensation in our motherland that we now call the New Gambia. I pay tribute to the ultimate sacrifice that SOLO made, as well as the sacrifices the other participants made in that epochal march. We will always cherish the memories of our departed colleagues and the miserable contributions SOLO made in the evolution of a new political culture of freedom, democracy, and respect for human rights. That is why we will never relent in ensuring that all the perpetrators of these heinous crimes are brought to justice wherever they may be, no matter how long it will take. The era of condoning impunity is gone, and gone forever in the Gambia. And let no one assume that they can get away with the false imprisonment, torture, murder, extrajudicial killings, and illegal burials. I'd like to recall, in conclusion, before concluding, I'd like to recall T.S. Eliot's famous poetic verse that April is a cruel month. Indeed, for the Gambia, this could not be further from the truth. The truth during the Jammeh dictatorship, from the truth during Jammeh dictatorship. For it was in April 2000 that the regime of Yahya Jammeh massacred 14 students who were protesting the murder and rape of 2 of their fellow students. Once again, the regime manifested its murderous inclinations in suppressing dissent, and on the occasion of another anniversary of that debacle, the first after the end of the repressive dictatorship of Yahya Jammeh. I would like once again to pay homage to those who were killed and to assure their families that the incident will be revisited to shed more light on what transpired in the drive to ensure justice and closure for those who lost their lives at the flower of their age. It was on this spot that the New Gambia was conceived. It started its gestation from here on the 14th of April. And on the 1st of December 2016, the New Gambia was given birth to. It was SOLO Sandeng who fathered the New Gambia. Because without him, I had no cause to go out. I had been asked all the time that I should go on this, but I had no cause. It was the death of SOLO Sandeng that gave me the cause. But it was a cause that was beneficial for the whole of the Gambia. SOLO, may you rest in peace. We've lost you, but certainly you have done for the Gambia what no one has ever done for this country. You gave your life. You left your young family behind, all for the Gambia. And I say to Taka, Husseinu, Mohammed, and all of you, that the whole of the Gambia will father you. You cannot be left fatherless. We will all father you. And we will all ensure that is not in vain.
Hero of the Gambia.
Solo's death must be a lesson for the political class that at no time in the history of this country will there be a dictator allowed in this country. The Gambians will rise against it. Solo has sacrificed a lot, and to allow dictatorships of any form to rear its head in this country will be doing a disservice to Solo Sandeng. And we must all be steadfast in ensuring that Solo's death is not in vain. The April 14 victims, the Kalama Revolution participants, I thank you all for your sacrifices. You are the great foot soldiers. You are in the battlefront. You are the ones who are prepared to take the bullets, and you did take them in a mere metaphorical way. You did take the bullets, and I salute you all for your courage. Thank you.
A 1 minute silence for my father and everybody else who joined him. We are sorry to Ibrahim Janko Sise, who passed away yesterday. We are sorry to Uncle Langmarong, and we are sorry to Uncle Ibrahim Solo Kroma that have lost their lives to make sure me, myself, and all of us standing here today say we are Gambians and we have freedom and justice today. So can we please all take a 1 minute silence and pray in our various ways to make sure we honor those people who have fallen for us, plus the December 30th, the 22,000 students who have fallen, everyone else who have fallen in the cause of fighting for justice for the Gambia. Thank you. Like he said, I think there have been wonderful speeches that have made everybody cry. I would have not wanted to stand here and say anything because my emotions are too high, and I'm so grateful to everybody who is here, be it the youth groups and everyone, and especially to the UDP who have shown us that Solo was a son of theirs, and they're here to show solidarity to him and to everybody else from the UDP who has fallen and every other Gambian who has sacrificed for what we have today. So I thank everybody for coming here today under the sun like Solo did the last time, and that's what we wanted. We wanted to walk under the sun like he did. We wanted to feel what he felt, even though we cannot feel the torture and the death that he felt. But then we can feel the sun that he walked under. We can feel everything else in our hearts and the pains. And we are grateful to every Gambian and everyone outside, especially to the diaspora also, that I call uncles, that I call aunts, and I call my fathers, that have done very well for my family and have stood by us from the first day. So I say thank you very much, and then we would see you by 4 at Paradise. Thank you.